I was going to go and ask you about the markets in cryptosphere and cryptocurrency markets. In your experience so far, how are they different or similar to the traditional markets that we have seen in equities and bonds and commodities? Do you have any observations you could share with us?
Sure. One of the big differences, I think, is it's much less clear even what the crypto market is. So that, people know what equities are, they know what fixed income is, they know what currencies and commodities are. But I think cryptos are still in this weird space where they're a little bit different than things that people have seen. And mini coins are one but not the other. And I think that's something that people are still coming to terms with and still struggling even to talk about. And so I think that there is that view that this is a market that still has not sort of fully matured. It's still finding itself, and there are things that look like value stores. There's things that look like means of exchange, but they're not necessarily the same thing. So a little bit different than traditional instruments. I think when you're looking at platforms like Cardano, it's a little bit different. It's sort of like, what would Facebook be if there was Facebook the platform and Facebook the company, and if they were two different entities. That's kind of the state of crypto, so that it's a very kind of different business model. It's an exciting one because it is something new, but I think it's also one that has a lot of challenges because nobody really knows what to do with it, or what are the risks. And I think that's one where there's a lot of unknowns, and it's exciting. It's a very speculative market. It's a lot like the early days of the internet, where everybody knew it was going to be big, but they didn't really know what the winners were. They didn't know what the killer apps were. And so we're still kind of finding our way through that whole process. And I think that's one where it is something we're still coming to terms with, about how are companies going to run long term? What are the big things they're even going to achieve? So it's exciting times, but it's still a very young market, and people are still trading on speculation of what it might be rather than what is there right now.